Hi everyone. So this is my key topics for June 2024, which I feel are really important. Looking at what came in the last sort of 3 to 4 papers, and also what is important. I've made my some intelligent guesses, I would say. Remember, these are just my sort of prediction, and they may or may not come. So please don't say when the exams are done that Surali said this and it didn't come. It's just something which I feel strongly about, given what has happened in the last 3 to 4 papers. So there's always a question on changes in equilibrium. So one thing I feel strongly about is that we will be tested on changes in equilibrium. Um, that simply means that they could, for example, say there could be factors that can change demand, or factors that can change supply, and they can ask you to show new equilibrium, and with that they can ask you, for example, the change that can happen in consumer surplus or change in producer surplus, or even the factors that can affect the price or quantity. So we are very likely to be seeing a question that can test our knowledge about equilibrium, that can test our knowledge about consumer surplus, producer surplus, and that can test our knowledge about, like for example, they can say, because of, let's say, change in subsidy, how will your, demand and supply would look like, and to what extent, the price or quantity may change, or they could ask the effect of this change in equilibrium on consumer surplus and producer surplus. So this is one question I feel strongly about. In the last three sort of papers, if you look at the March paper, the June paper, and the November paper, we have seen a very strong tendency for examiner to test this knowledge about either the equilibrium or changes in equilibrium or factors that can change the price and quantity or consumer producer surplus of any market. Guys, another favorite topic of examiner, and I'm definitely sure that you will be tested on this, will be on the elasticity. And within elasticity, remember, when they are looking at elasticity, they are looking at PED, PES, XCD, and YED. Now, they have been testing us on the relevance of elasticity of demand and revenue, and similarly, they have been testing us about PES as well. So you need to know the relevance of all of these three elasticities to different stakeholders like businesses, uh, to government, etc. Also, you need to know the PED and revenue relationship, because that's something which is an important thing to understand, and also the significance when you're looking at XCD, the value and sign. Similarly, YD, the significance of your value and sign. So please, guys, prepare this topic really well. It is tested every single year in the last three papers. So I would say you may see something similar to come, because if you are prepared with one of these two, it's not enough. You need to prepare for both of these in order to make sure you are in a safe space when it comes to your exam. Another question that I feel strongly about could be that on like government intervention. When you look at government intervention, it's a large topic, because within government intervention you have indirect taxes, you have subsidies, you have agricultural market, you also have, for example, minimum maximum price, and you have also a discussion about merit, demerit, and public goods. Merit, demerit, and public goods being tested. Merit goods and demerit goods have been tested significantly. Public goods also came in the last three papers. What has not come when it comes to government intervention is something on minimum price. So there's no harm in looking at minimum price. There's no harm in looking at agriculture, and even linking it up with income inequality, because that is a topic that is added. So they could sort of mix a question that could be related to these three things: income inequality, which would basically addressing income inequality through transfer payments and so on, but using addressing income inequality knowledge and minimum price, and using that in probably agriculture market, and looking at agriculture market. So I feel this is one thing that hasn't been tested for a long time. And here they could also test your knowledge of subsidies, because subsidies has also not come. So using subsidies, or they may say minimum price, and compare and contrast, and they can look at agriculture market and they can give you this question using this knowledge. Another topic, just to be on the safe type, that you should sort of look at and prepare, is the role of prices and need for government intervention. So let me write this: role of prices. So remember, role of prices is signaling, it's incentive, and it's rationaling. So role of prices and need for government intervention. So these guys are my key sort of topics for micro that I really want everyone to prepare. And it's just through my guesses that I've seen in the last sort of 3 to 4 papers what has been tested and what could possibly come in our exam. Okay, so that's for micro. Let's now look at macro. So guys, if I tell you the big sort of way the examiner is going with macro, is that the examiner is always putting one question on international trade, and within international trade the examiner is putting in also your exchange rate, your free floating exchange rate, and linking it up with policies, and also looking at all the pros and cons of international trade. So there is definitely going to be a one question on international trade for sure, because that's how examiner is testing us recently, and I feel the examiner will test us this topic for sure. And the reason why I believe that will happen also is because international trade is not a heavily tested topic in A2, but this is a heavily tested topic in AS. So that's number one. Number two is the idea of topic that is definitely needs to be prepared is inflation. So you need to know the causes of inflation, you need to know the cost of inflation, you need to know various factors that could, for example, change your ADAS and therefore change inflation. And within that, they test you on various things. They test you on the shape of the aggregate supply curve, the short-run, long-run implication. So inflation is definitely something which will be prepared. And then unemployment and its consequences is something which I really want you guys to make sure that you prepare well, because I have seen that this topic has not been tested recently, and it's added, and I feel this is something really important to be prepared for. So these are some of the 3 things that I feel strongly about, and I really want you guys to make sure that you go to the exam and prepare this really well. International trade is a big topic, so make sure that you prepare all aspects of it, because one question will be on international trade, one question will be on inflation, and then on the backup, because the B part could also link unemployment with inflation, or separately unemployment can also come in terms of consequences and causes of unemployment. So guys, that's it from my side. Good luck, and let me know how the exam goes, and inshallah everything will be fine. You guys just work hard. The notes are also available on the website. If you want to read, go ahead and do that, and good luck everyone.